I just want to start this by saying, even though I've had lots of strange experiences in my life, watching 40 Chinese girls burst into tears when I start singing, "If I should stay, I would only be in your way," is probably one of the most strangest experiences I've ever had, because they were sobbing uncontrollably. And though they gifted me a beautiful Chinese silk fan for making them cry, the thing is that people always get really weirded out when they find out that I was born with cerebral palsy, but can also sing. Because it doesn't matter what I'm singing, I could be blasting Nine Inch Nails lyrics, and some woman is gonna inexplicably appear with tears in her eyes saying, "God bless you," trying to press $20 in my hands, even though I just got done telling her that I paid for my lunch with my Visa Platinum card. And yes, that is a 100% true story, and KFC was really awkward that day, but guilt chicken is delicious. So, y'all give me a second, I'm gonna transfer up here where it's a little easier. Okay, you can take the brakes off because I want it to move. Thank you. So the thing about it is, growing up with cerebral palsy, I spent a lot of time by myself in hospitals, and so for me, that meant singing to myself a lot, and that meant specifically rubbing out that particular spot in the magnetic tape of the Bodyguard cassette tape. And for anyone under 25, you do not know the struggle of the end of a pencil eraser and that rewinding motion to find that Kenny G saxophone high note. Yes. But I would see night nurses come through and they'd be like, "Oh, God, I hate the night shift." I wasn't listening because I was in in vogue mode. Y'all know. When I had you, I treated you bad, and would hear, "Yes!" which is super disconcerting when you're 10. I didn't know if they were saying "Yes, keep going," or "Ass, no, stop," as they ran to my bed talking about, "God bless you," pressing me with handfuls of Flintstone gummy vitamins. So for years, I stopped singing because it gets really annoying. And while I realize that it's meant to be inspiring, some people just kind of cross the line with it. However, it's I was doing my own thing and inexplicably found myself in a room with Simon Cowell's Sony BMG record executives in the middle of an X Factor audition when I was living in London on a complete whim. I come in that room and I am greeted with the most British expression since King George. And that man looked at me and he was like, "And what are you going to do?" Now, have y'all ever had the whole of the British Empire looking in your face? It is extremely disconcerting, and now I know how Christopher Columbus felt. But I was like, Etta James? And he was just like, "What makes you think a man can sing that song?" I don't know. I have vocal cords. She has vocal cords. I'm black. She's black. I don't know. And so he was like, "Proceed." And let me tell y'all from experience, it is really difficult to sing, "At last, my love has has come along, while thinking, these people are fucking assholes. God. And when it was over, they Britished very quietly in the corner for like 2 minutes. And then he looked at me and he was like, you can pass. And so I was like, woo, yes. And as I was exiting, I was like, they didn't say it. They didn't say it. Yes. I get outside, and some woman from way on the other side of the auditorium was like, wait! She literally runs the entire length of the arena, flags me down, and is like, oh my God, that was you in there, yeah? Oh my God, I can't believe that was you singing, isn't it? And I was like, yeah, it was me. And she was like, God bless you. Fuck. Damn it. Damn it. And like she handed me all this paper and pressed it in my hands and walked away. And so I was like, at first I was really mad, but then I thought about it and I was like, actually, 20 British pounds is like 40 American dollars. So like, yes. And then I looked at what she gave me and it was a note that said, God loves you regardless. And I was thinking, yes, but he hates cheap assholes. Thank you very much.
Hello. Welcome to The Shine. I want to introduce you to D.R.C. Neal. D.R.C. Neal is a professional storyteller. He's won awards all over the world for telling his stories, and he's studied in Germany and London and here in America, and he's currently getting his doctorate degree at the University of Maryland down in D.C. And would you guys like to hear one more story from D.R.C.? Would you please grace us with one more story, D.R.C.?
Sure, thank you.
Perfect.
Okay, let's see. Oh, since it's Christmas time, I figured this is appropriate. So, my introduction to David was this. Merry Christmas, sexy, he typed. My response, well, I don't know how merry it'll be because I'm by myself and it's really cold, but thanks, I guess. Understand, I was still living in London. It was Christmas time, and if you've ever been to London, you know it's cold, depressing, just ridiculous, and I was too busy fantasizing about fried chicken with Lowry seasoning salt. So I shouldn't have even been online to begin with, but in real life, it's really difficult to be black and emo because people don't take you seriously. So he responded, well, that's okay, baby. I'll be your Christmas present. And he was like, I see from your profile you're in London, so I'll call you from the airport on Tuesday. I think I was too busy thinking about actual spiced food and Beyonce, because if I'd seen that message on my screen, I would have squashed those plans. But by the time I did see it, when I wrote, wait, what? I got, the user has now logged off. This whole interaction took place in 4 minutes. Fast forward 1 week to when this random dude was coming up to my door, and I was like, oh shit, I have about 4 minutes worth of information on this man. Is that enough time for a first date? The 3 glasses of wine I had said, yes it is. And the spirit of Christmas inside me said, you should be open to new ideas. If you ever have that thought, let me tell you, it is a terrible idea. We were in his car, and I had my hand on the door handle for an emergency exit, as one does. And I looked at him, and I thought, who is this man who inexplicably appeared on my doorstep? He was French, 40s, green eyes, brown hair, cute, medium, stalkerish type. And I asked him, I said, David, why did you fly all the way across Europe to come see me? And he responded, because I love that you cannot walk. It is so sexy to me. Breaks. David is what the disability community calls a devotee. They are people who do not have disabilities who sexually fetishize those who do. They live to serve and receive great pleasure in doing so. So my thing is, like, when I met David, I mean, as a person with cerebral palsy, since the gay community acts like we don't exist, I mean, I may get like maybe 2 dates a year, and he seemed like a normal guy. He said he had his profile on all the sites, so I didn't think it was that weird that he was singling me out. But I realize now that there were definitely red flags. Like when he tried to kiss me unwarranted in the middle of a 6-lane London highway. If you ever want that first kiss to be truly magical, you need to do it while double-decker buses and black cabs are swerving to avoid hitting you in what is clearly a very romantic scene a la Pepe Le Pew. And, you know, I felt like there was a time when I got off the London Underground, they only give you like 10 seconds, so I had to like get out my wheelchair and stuff. I felt like if I had tripped and fell under the train and died, David would have carried my ashes and cried for years because he was so devoted. I realize now that the very first warning sign, however, was later that night. We got back to my apartment, and he demanded that he carry me to the bed. It was non-negotiable. And this is not the sexy carry, not the giggle and be thankful you don't have to walk so your partner can carry you kind of carry. This was a, please be dead weight so I can drag your body on the ground and that feels so good kind of carry. That plus a university twin-size bed? No ma'am. I got in there, and so I decided to do emergency shelter on my floor for 3 nights. And while I was laying on the ground shivering, I was thinking, this kind of crazy cannot be explained. It's medical. This is a Kathy Bates and why did you let misery die, Paul kind of crazy. So at this point, at Christmas, I'm just very happy to be in my bed watching Netflix. Because unlike David, Netflix will not try and stick its tongue down your throat. And the bed will only kill you if you're lying face down. So this time for Christmas, I'm just gonna pop myself a big old bowl of popcorn and have a glass of wine and be thankful that I actually survived the dates that were in my inbox. Thank you.